Could you give us some specific names here? For example, in auto ancillary, are you looking at more EV specific auto ancillary spaces? In railways, we've seen a correction in many of them from their peak, about 30-35%. They're already down. So would you look at, say, wagon makers? Would you look at the finance majors like IRFC, and in hospitality as well? If you could give us some idea on that front.
Yes, Akshay, good morning. Well, with a disclaimer that I think the names which I am sharing with you is not a recommendation per se.
Sure, sure.
Investors are required to do their own research and take the advisor's advice before investing into it. But just to give the reference, probably I think these few companies which we like, which are fundamentally having good strength, and then in them includes in auto ancillary space companies like Minda, companies like Minda Corporation. I think both these companies have a reasonably good amount of portfolio catering to the EV space as well as the ICE space. While the Minda Corporation is largely catering to the two-wheeler space, the Minda is catering largely to the four-wheeler space in the passenger vehicle. So to a greater extent, I think this space looks, I think, reasonably promising, interesting, and the stock prices have started correcting. If it gives further correction, it would be, I think, a better opportunity to buy them into the portfolio because we see the visibility of next 3 to 4 years, I think, which is extremely strong in this kind of a businesses. Similarly, I think in the hospitality space, I think we have been liking the companies like Praveg. This company has been implementing a good amount of projects. In this year, they would have more than 12 sites, which would have already been commissioned. And next year, again, another 12, 13 sites, which will come up, and they would have about 700 tent rooms and 700 resort rooms, as we call it as, with an average room rate per night basis of around 9 to 10,000 rupees. We believe that I think this company is probably a good company to follow from the investment perspective. Likewise, I can keep on spelling out names in many other areas, but I believe that I think this is one opportunity that this kind of fall is coming into the market. Even some of the large cap companies, like I think, say for example, Geofin, which we like, I think, from the long-term investment prospects because of the higher amount of the deep value investing approach that we have created, in which I think the higher amount of potential that we are seeing in this particular company. We like them. In the railways and the defense space, in the EMS space particularly, I believe that companies like DCX System, which are significantly corrected, these kind of companies can be looked at again. I think if the prices are corrected, then probably I think this kind of companies can give better opportunity going forward for future years.